Okay, so welcome everyone. Before we start playing, I'm going to walk you through exactly what this cash flow game is, who it's for, and how it works, and what you're going to get out of this experience. So it's not just a board game, it is a financial simulator. So this is called the cash flow game. This was created by Robert Kiyosaki to teach financial intelligence and practical real world skills most adults here have yet to still learn. So this game is for adults who want to understand money better, break out the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and think like an investor, build long-term wealth intentionally. So that is the whole purpose of the game, is for you to learn more on how you can be an investor yourself. So if you have ever get stuck financially overwhelmed by money and decisions, this game was designed for you. So now let's talk about the goal of the game is simple. Build enough passive income from your assets to cover your total monthly expenses. So when your passive income exceeds your expenses, you escape the rat race and move to the fast track. So let me just show you real quick how it looks like. So the rat race represents most people's real life. You have a job, you have income, you pay expenses, and you deal with debt. You wait for the next paycheck, right? Sounds familiar? Well, the fast track, which is this one on the top, okay? So it represents financial freedom. Your assets pay, you have more choices, and you invest in larger opportunities. So the goal is to get out of the rat race and move forward to the fast track. That is the goal, okay? So now let me show you the parts of this board game. So each player, this is a maximum of 6 people that you play with, 6 players maximum. And each player would have a sheet just like this one. It would show 2 things. First is when you start with this page, it's when you're in the rat race. Once you graduate from it, then you would move on to the second sheet of this paper. So 6 players, and each player would pick jobs that you'd like to be doing in the game. So let's say I pick engineer. So tonight I'll be an engineer, and you would also see how much income you have, like total income. Passive income is 0, and your salary is also stated there. Your expenses, so it's pretty much kind of like your life card, right? So just imagine that these are your income, these are your expenses, your assets currently, and your liabilities. So your career card determines your profession. For example, in this case, like I said, it's an engineer. Each career has salary, taxes, expenses, child costs, bank loans, bank credit card debt, mortgage payments, and your balance sheet is the most important tool in this game, because this will help you realize what the hell you're doing wrong in life, right? So it includes your salary, your interest, and your dividends, your real estate cash flow, your current business income. And expenses include taxes, mortgage, car payments, credit cards, retail payments, and child expenses. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, and liabilities take money out of your pocket. So this game trains you to understand the difference clearly. So now let's talk about how you move around the board. So you will be picking your, what do you call this? Cheese and a dice. I think it's easier if you just pick just one dice and call it a day. And so you roll the dice just like Monopoly, and you would have a set of kind of like just a Monopoly. You'd have these market cards and your doodads. We will explain that in a minute. We also have two kinds of deals, small deals and big deals. Small deals, and where are the big deals? They're gone. Here. Well, there are actually, these are the big deals, and we got the small deals. So pretty much what you do is you roll the dice, and if you pick a purple cheese, you get a purple rat, a purple thing here. Plus, so the cheese goes to, remember, the fast track. So you are going to pick like what kind of goal you want. Let's say I want to buy, my goal is to, when I get out of the rat race, I will buy a resort. So my cheese is right here. And you would always start with this one right here. Roll the dice, 4, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get a big deal. You get this, you get a big deal. You could pick whether it's a big or a small deal, right? So today I'll be picking this deal, small deal. And now you would have to identify if this is going to be something you'd like to invest right now or not. And by the way, of course, before you play this game, you'd have to have some money, right? So how much is the minimum? There is, I cannot remember the minimum. Yeah, that's right, my bad. Yes, your salary, the money that you get would be depending on your income right here. So income is, so I have a salary of $4,900 as an engineer, but I have a total expenses of $3,210. And so you would have to do some math here. So my monthly cash flow now is from income minus expenses would be $1,690. So that's the amount of money that I would have starting. And you would get paid every time you reach the payday, like the yellow ones. So once every time you hit payday, you would always get your monthly cash flow. And of course, so as you play this game, it gets a lot easier, but pretty much that is just a little overview of how this game is being played. Roughly, this takes at least 2 hours tops to play the game or more, but this will give you a better idea of, it's kind of like a self-realization actually, because you would now know what your buying behavior is and what your investment behavior is. I guess, so thank you so much for listening, but this is exactly how we run this game.